Today we're going to be testing and ranking every single class in Dead Rails. Starting off with High Roller. High Roller. Collect money bags for 2 times more, but 10 times more likely to be struck by lightning. Costing 75 bonds, and starting with a shovel. If you're always trying to get a lot of money, this class might be for you, since collecting the gold bar gives you 100 instead of just 50, since it gives you 2 times money from each money bag, allowing you to buy ammo, a rifle, and even a piece of coal with just the money that you get at the start. Just make sure if you have a high roller on your team to always give them the money bags, since when they collect them, they earn twice as much. Even when you sell Captain Prescott or an outlaw, it'll still give you twice as much as it would usually. Bandits are now worth 70, and Captain Prescott is worth 300. Now this is where the high roller is super good, selling a lot of items. Let's say you have $700 worth of items. You sell it, and you get 1,400 instead of just 700, which is a huge difference, allowing you to buy like twice as much ammo or twice as much guns, metal sheets, pretty much anything. So after you raid about 1 bank, you should have enough to buy guns and ammo for your entire team. So if you want, then you could easily just go straight to the end. Alright, I think that we will be ranking this a solid A tier because it did get nerfed, so it's now only 1.5x money instead of 2 times. But it is still by far one of the best classes. Next, the Doctor class. Doctor spawns with healing items, can revive teammates by sacrificing half of your own health, no bandages required. Costing 15 bonds, and it starts with 2 bandages and 2 snake oils. If you have no bandages in your inventory, then you can still revive your teammates by just walking up to them and holding the revive button down, just like what you would do if you did have a bandage, but this time, instead of using a bandage, it uses half of your own health. In solo, the Doctor is probably an easy D tier, but in multiplayer though, it is a very good class because you can easily revive your teammates for just HP, so you can revive them and then just wait until your health goes back up and then revive another teammate if you need to. And it's a very just simple class to use, so I'll be putting it at a solid B tier. Next, the Miner class. Miner. Spawns with coal, has a headlamp that always provides light to an area. Costing 15 bonds and starting with 1 mining helmet, 2 coal, and 1 pickaxe. There's not much about this class besides you start with 2 coal, and it can light up houses at night, or your train, or pretty much anything, but besides that, it's not too good. And I think Miner class will be going in a solid C, just because all it does is just give you more light. Like, besides that, there's nothing else. Next up, the Arsonist class. A pyromaniac dealing double fire damage. Spawns with molotovs, costing 20 bonds, and starting with 4 molotovs. The double fire damage makes the molotovs extremely overpowered against zombies, werewolves, vampires, all those. But the outlaws, they can kind of shoot you before you get too close to them, so it's kind of hard to throw the molotovs at them unless you just have crazy aim. Next, the Alamo. Alamo. A defensive specialist focused on fortification. Spawns with items they can use to defend the train. Costing 50 bonds, starting with 3 barbed wires, 3 sheet metal, and 1 shovel. At the start of the game, the Alamo can easily fortify your train, so the driver cannot get shot by outlaws, or any zombies, or werewolves, or vampires can't get in. And it's just very overpowered for early game. Honestly, this is going to be a high B tier just because it's good, but only for early game. If it helped more later in the game, then it would easily be a tier, but we'll just put it at B. Next, the Cowboy. Cowboy. Spawns the player with a revolver, ammo, and a tamed horse. Costing 50 bonds, and starting with 2 revolver ammo, 1 saddle, 1 shovel, and 1 revolver. It is super useful for taking out outlaws, or camps, or towns, pretty much anything. It helps a lot. Personally, one of my favorite classes. It's one of the most useful ones too. Alright, the Cowboy class. This is going to be our first S tier, because Cowboy, the starting items are just so overpowered, it is just so useful. Next up, Conductor. Conductor. Can drive the train at a faster speed, but they have half the max health and don't spawn with a melee weapon. Costing 50 bonds, and starting with 2 coal. The only good thing about Conductor is being able to drive the train at a max speed of 85 instead of just 65, which is very good for speedrunning and just playing the game normally. But if you're solo, you have half the health and no melee weapon. It's still good either way, because if you have one Conductor, they can be the main driver and make the train go a lot faster. Next up, Priest. Priest. Immune to lightning strikes, costing 75 bonds, starting with 2 holy waters and 2 crucifixes. Priest is pretty useless, except the fact that you can do that and just instantly kill anything. You only get 2 crucifixes and 2 holy waters. Like, yes, it's pretty much like Arsonist, but with 2 better Molotovs, the holy waters. As you see here, zombies still get one-shotted. The Priest is going to be going in B tier, because, I mean, the Priest is cool and all. It spawns you with 2 holy waters and 2 crucifixes, but if you think about it, it's not that good, because the immune to lightning strikes, lightning isn't that likely to strike you. You might not like me for saying that, but that's just my opinion. Next, Vampire. Vampire. Increased movement speed and melee damage, but takes damage in direct sunlight, costing 75 bonds and starting with a vampire knife. The vampire does take damage in sunlight, which is pretty bad, but since the vampire knife has lifesteal, it makes up for it very well. So you can't really die unless you're dumb like me. The vampire is probably going to be another S tier, because the speed boost is insane. Even though you take damage in direct sunlight, the vampire knife lifesteal makes up for it so easily. Next, Survivalist. Survivalist. The lower your health, the more damage you do. So pretend you're at, let's say, about like 90% health. You would do about like 1.1x damage. And now let's say you're at like 10% health. Now you would do about 5 times damage. So the lower health you have, the more damage that it does. So honestly, this class is just super good, because let's say there's a zombie, like one single shot when you're at low health and he's just gone. But now werewolves, I think they still take like 2 shots in the head with a rifle to kill, but either way, they still die very quick. The Survivalist will be going in S tier. I know, that's 3 in a row, but I had to save the best for the last. It's so overpowered if you know how to use it. Next, the Ironclad Zombie. There's no question about it, really. Ironclad, I'm sorry, but the speed debuff is too much. And Zombie, there's just no doubt about it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll be hopefully posting a new video soon, but in my opinion, the best class is Vampire, just for like just overall playing. Speedrunning though, of course, you need a Conductor. Cowboy is also a very good class because the horse and the gun is super good. Survivalist is insane if you know how to use it, so yeah. And I will see y'all next video. Bye.